Hello kittens, welcome back to Seb the Cat. So I've managed to break my webcam, so you're not going to see my face today. Today is Wednesday. Wednesdays we do app development, and the app we're working on right now is a sort of productivity suite called CY, and it is a combination of a few things. First of all, it's a desktop, multi-platform desktop app written using the Electron framework, and that has a front end written in Vue.js to manage the UX, and then the other component of CY is an integrated CLI tool, which is called CY, but just the letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you what the application itself looks like. Now, normally I push Command Space and I get my Spotlight search, or maybe if you're on Windows you might push the Windows key and you get your search. And then what CY does is it hooks into a control space. And I mean, this would normally load quicker, but we're in development mode, and it's going to bring up essentially a note-taking application, right? So we're able to make notes in Markdown. We can preview what the Markdown is going to look like, and then once we're happy with that content, we can either save it to the file system or we can send it off to multiple social media websites. So let's say you wrote a quick breakdown here. You might want to send it off to your own personal blog, as well as tweet about it, post it to Reddit, post it to Hacker News, update Facebook, whatever, right? So that's sort of the concept here. We're also sort of hoping to do a schedule, but that doesn't currently work. But I'm thinking something along the lines of what Buffer does right now. So if you're familiar with the Buffer application, something a bit like that. The other big thing that I really want from this application is to be keyboard first, so integrating Vim shortcuts. So you've got different modes. You can use escape to open and close the file system, and currently our keyboard shortcuts navigating the file system are broken, but eventually I want full keyboard integration so that you can save, navigate, and open notes without ever leaving the editor, so you're right there the whole time. Okay, so that's the main application. Oh, there's also a sort of a basic settings page right now, which doesn't really do much, but so that's the productivity suite, I guess. And we're going to get a lot of cool things with Electron, which means we're going to get an installer. It's going to be very easy for us to publish to the app stores, Windows Store, that sort of thing. Now the other side of things is, as I said, it's a CLI tool. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to offload most of the interactions and most of the back-end work to our CLI tool. So the Electron app is going to be a thin veneer over what is essentially a Markdown integrated CLI tool. Now we've only sort of just started that. We've got a simple command. So if I run here, let's see, do I have CY? Yeah, okay, cool. So if I run CY ingest, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cat which is, if you're unfamiliar, it's just reading a file. Fixtures, simple. If I cat that through cyingest, it ingests a markdown file and figures out a JSON payload, which it will then use to publish to, let's say, Twitter or something, right? So this simple fixture doesn't have anything. It's just a title and some content. Obviously, we haven't extracted the title just yet, and that's probably where we're going to start. And in fact, I think I have already implemented this in my prototype, so let me just check and see if we can just copy some code from our prototypes. Let me just update my Twitch title. We're not doing game dev today, we're doing AppDev. Okay, so I think this is what we had originally for our data model, and I think this is actually pretty useful. So I'm just going to create a model directory and copy that across. Post, and I might call this, instead of a post, I think it's better terminology now to call it a document. And it should be a JavaScript file. And we want this. Just going to grab all of that, plonk it in here, and let's run through. I don't think we're using that anymore. Alright, so let's just yarn add Lodash in case we don't already have it. Okay, and if we're calling this document, let's just call this document, and down here document, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy across the tests as well. In fact, let's bring this onto its own desktop. So as you can see, we've got a prototype of this project which was done a few months ago. Okay, so let's have a look at our model and our post test. Okay, and copy that across as well. Yep. And we'll call that our model document test. Document.test.js, paste that in. And we're not using Oakleaf anymore. We're using Jest, but I'm pretty sure that will actually work the same. Describe it, expect. We'll need to change the expectations here, like to deep equal, I believe, is not available in the original library, but okay. So I'm going to run through the tests again, and in fact, is that going to test up one source model document? We're going to need to change that. Okay, so this is going to be our content, right? Given this content, a post title with some tags of different capitalization, a couple of to-do items, and then some normal content straight in there. So let's describe this document. So I might have to do a find and replace on this. Is it find and replace? Nope, wrong keyboard shortcut. Replace. Alt command. Okay. So we want to replace post with document, and we want to match the case, right? And replace all, I believe. Oh, yeah. Make sure you spell everything right. Cool. All right, and then we want to replace post with document uppercase and replace that. Okay. Sweet. All right. So this should hopefully help us abstract the process of pulling data out of a markdown document. In fact, I might have a quick look and see if there's a good package. Maybe we're repeating ourselves here. JavaScript markdown parser. So what does this give us out of the box? Not sanitized yet. Okay. I'm not sure we need that just yet. Bidirectional, I think, is more important. Plugins. That's quite useful. So we could make sure we're using the same one that our Markdown editor is using as well.